My name is Don K. Preston. I am the president of Preterist Research Institute of Ardmore, Oklahoma. We're currently studying the Messianic Temple. I really honestly believe that one of the greatest failures in the modern day discussions of the temple is the failure to understand that the Old Covenant Temple of Israel, that the Old Covenant Tabernacle established by Moses in the wilderness, then Solomon's Temple, were types and shadows of the greater spiritual temple of God. Now I want you to think about that, and I want you to catch the power of that. The type was a shadow. Paul, as he discussed the new moons, feast days, and Sabbath days, the entire cultus of that Old Covenant temple, and as Hebrews chapter 9, 23 and 24 just emphatically speaks of the Old Covenant temple that was standing in the first century, and he called it a shadow, a type. And folks, the type was invariably inferior, and it invariably pointed to, as Paul says in Colossians 2, 16 and following, or 15 and following, better things to come. But what happens? My dispensational friends say, oh well, the church is not the temple of the living God foretold in the Old Testament. Oh well, yeah, you know, we've got the church as the temple, but it's not the predicted temple. And the church will be taken away, raptured, removed, so that God can get down to the business of building the real temple. Do you see what that means? It means that the spiritual body of Christ for which He shed His blood is not as important as a literal physical edifice that will ostensibly one day be built when God removes the spiritual body of Christ. No. The physical edifice of the Old Covenant temple was a shadow of better things to come. And the better things are the real things to which those shadows pointed. You know, in my book, Like Father, Like Son, on Clouds of Glory, I have an extended exegetical discussion of the typological, foreshadowing nature of the Old Covenant world of Israel, including the temple, demonstrating that that Old Covenant temple was never intended to be the ultimate goal. It was never the determinative goal of God. The spiritual things to which it pointed were the real things, the true things. Thanks for joining me. We're going to develop this concept of the Old Covenant temple as a type and as a shadow of the better and the true things to come in our continuing study. Thanks for joining me. We'll see you on the flip side.